Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Friday, September 25th. I am Khalil Kato with the details. After almost a week abroad accompanying his wife for medical attention in the U.S., Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is back home and is in quarantine as part of required travel protocols for persons entering the state due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking on Star Radio today, the Prime Minister said he is following all of the quarantine rules. However, he is continuing to work. When asked about his wife's condition after revealing about 2 weeks ago that she has a cyst on her spine, the Prime Minister said Mrs. Gonsalves is in good spirits and has had a part of her condition resolved. Commenting on the relief payments to farmers who have been negatively impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the drought conditions, PM Gonsalves said of the 4,200 farmers who registered to receive assistance, only 2,462 will receive the payout in this first instance, as the Ministry of Agriculture continues the verification exercise for the others.
Nobody wants anybody who is not supposed to be paid to get money.
Yes.
So that's how that is being done.
Very well.
So there's a process.
Good.
But the bulk of those who had gone through the registration process, because once the registration process had been gone through, and people are going through in the various districts, the list, they realized that some persons on the list were dead. In other words, Sian would have gone and said, you know, I don't have a card here with me, but my name is Sian Marshall,
Right.
and I farm 3 acres of land in Gracefield, you know, or in Mongoro, or wherever you're farming, or Palmyra. You understand what I mean?
Yes, yes.
So the verification process is being gone through.
PM Gonsalves said the payout for farmers on the verified list amounts to around $1.23 million. Today, a first batch of farmers collected fertilizers at the Agriculture Input Warehouse in Kingstown. However, there were some hiccups as farmers were not certain where they should go to collect the fertilizer. Some waited at another location in their respective constituency and said it was a hassle getting into Kingstown, and some, without their own means of transportation, asked others to collect on their behalf. SVG-TV News spoke with 2 farmers in Kingstown.
I promised farmers would pay and the fertilizer would be, 2 distribution points. Let's say I'm from North Windward, and they were promising that the fertilizer would be, you collect your fertilizer in Langley Park. I see trucks passing, and not only until I investigated, I realized that you have to come here. And when you talk to the staff here, they don't know nothing about, the fertilizer going to different distribution points, making it easier for farmers without, their own vehicles to collect. It's just disappointing. We are having so much hot weather right now, dry weather.
Well, since when I bought this, so they told me that they would have bring it out in the district where I'm living in Mespo. But I waited, no call, so I decided that I will come and find out exactly what's going on. So I realized that they're distributing down here. So to buy a sack of, as a single parent, it's kind of difficult to buy a sack of manure for like $70. So getting it at half price, it give me the boost to plant more.
One farmer complained about the delay in receiving the first batch of fertilizer and how it has affected his farm.
Paid on the 28th of August, and now it's the 25th of September. That's 1 month. Having money out for so long, and you're not getting your produce, your fertilizer to use. Your produce is behind time. They're not going to be maturing properly because they're lacking the fertilizer. And it's the promises for help to farmers who suffered from the drought and all of that. It's just empty promises, nothing not coming forward. They're supposed to be paying out some monies, and they keep pushing back, and I don't know, farmers seems to be disregarded, in this country, which, I mean, we are an agricultural nation, but I don't think at this point we are producing at maximum because, farmers are not getting help. Farming right now is a very expensive investment because if you don't have the money to to stake up to buy your supplies, it's really difficult.
Even though the Ministry of Education has not released the CSEC results, students as well as their principals are already aware of their grades and some are not pleased. Principal of the St. Joseph's Convent, Kingstown, Antoinette Best Jardine, said students are not satisfied, particularly with the biology results, and they are waiting to see the CXC reviews of the subjects.
Disappointed in our biology results because something seems to be very wrong there. We usually have very good results in biology, like we have it in the 80s, high 70s, 80s, and this year, I don't know what went wrong. We went down to 40%, but we think something is very wrong because the profiles don't match the grade. And the teachers, it's the same, nothing has changed. The only variant there would be the students. Same teacher, basically the same syllabus and everything. So something has gone wrong with that bio results.
Jardine said that overall, the school is pleased with the pass rate.
COVID situation where they only had a multiple choice exam, and I was pretty worried that it was just a multiple choice exam because a multiple choice exam is much more difficult than if you have a long paper, an essay, short questions, whatever. Most of the students passed all of their subjects. There wasn't anybody who failed everything. That doesn't usually happen here, Quite a number of them got all of their subjects, some disappointed grades, and one or two would have failed one or failed two. So generally, all the students would have done relatively well. I just know that when we make the queries, that it would improve.
At the Bishop's College, Kingstown, PRO of the school, Janelle Sandy, said some students made queries as well, but they are generally pleased with the results.
About 3 students making queries about the CSEC grades. They did not give any specific subject area, it was just a general check. In terms of our overall average, we have 77.9% for the school.
A female who was in the general stream topped the results in that school, and Sandy said there were also good performances in the sciences.
Top students, Luana Lynch, who had 10 subjects, she gained 10 subjects, and she gained 6 grade 1s, 3 grade 2s, and 1 grade 3. The sciences did very well this year. We had students gaining grade 1s in physics, and also we had an increase in over 8 subject areas where we gained 100%. We sent over 95 students, and they all sat mathematics and English language, which is very important to us here at Bishop's College, Kingston.
Principals and students at several schools are getting ready to institute an adjusted dress code from next week. The change is to help protect students from coming down with the mosquito-borne dengue fever. Today, SVG-TV News spoke to principals of some schools, that is, to find out about the preparations. At the St. Joseph's Convent, Kingstown, Principal Jardine said that several students have fallen ill with dengue-like symptoms, and teachers have also been complaining of feeling unwell.
Let us say we probably have about 8 to 10 students absent during the day. And they might be gone for about 2 days, 3 days. We have had about 3 teachers who have come down with it. 2 of them are back. One wasn't feeling too well this morning. But one of the teachers have definitely been confirmed with the dengue. And I think for all the students who went home that said that they thought they had dengue, I think it's just about 4 or 5 of them confirmed that it was indeed dengue, that they were tested.
The students' temperatures are usually taken as part of the COVID-19 protocols.
In the morning, everybody has normal temperature. Everybody, the temperature is normal. We check them as they come to the gate on mornings. So what has happened is that sometimes the temperature is elevated during the day. They might come down with a fever during the day. I don't know whether they're taking a painkiller before they come to school or what, but when they're coming through the gate, they are fine. But they will get ill during the day. and then we will let the parents come and collect them. And usually it has been the dengue. Those that have been checked, they have claimed it is dengue that they got.
The Ministry of Health has recommended that schools encourage students to wear long-sleeve shirts and pants, and the Ministry of Education has since informed the schools to comply.
In school, they were asking us if we could allow them to wear long sleeves, long pants, tights, use insect repellent, make sure that we have the surrounding clean, the stagnant water and whatever, the bush. So that is basically what the meeting was all about. Now we were allowed to do what we think is best for our own schools. And the ministry didn't have any objection to the students not wearing their uniform. We have to actually focus on what is best for the students right now. We just came, I don't want to say we came out of COVID, but we just came back to school after the lockdown, you want to call it that, and now we have to face dengue. So the priorities have to be protect our students.
The Bishop's College Kingstown, assistant to the principal, Rosamond Richardson, said that they have informed parents and students of the change to begin on Monday.
The boys, they will wear their school pants because it's already a long pants, and the girls, however, they will be allowed to wear a jeans pants, so, long jeans pants with their school shirts, school blouse. And those who may not have a jeans pants and they wish to wear the uniform, however, they'll have to get a long socks to come up to meet where the skirt stops. We have the mosquito swatters. We'll be using those to swat the class every morning. Plus, the students are all encouraged to work with their insect repellents, preferably the odorless insect repellents, and the school also will be providing some of those. We have had a few students whose parents have called in and reported that their child is down with the dengue. In terms of teachers, I don't think we have had any teachers coming down with dengue so far. But we have had a couple of students who had high temperatures, and we followed the protocols, and their parents came and so forth.
Youths deserve every opportunity to flourish at home, says NDP leader, as party pushes for the youth vote. We have this and other stories coming up when we return with more local news after these messages. Stay tuned.
All for great.
Leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, Dr. Godwin Friday, continues to push for the youth vote in the upcoming general elections, stressing that they are the future of the country and deserve every opportunity to flourish here at home. Dr. Friday was speaking at the NDP's virtual meeting last evening, dubbed Youth Voices.
The reason they do that is because here in St. Vincent, they earn less than they do in St. Kitts. $9,500 less than they do in Grenada per annum. We have to create jobs. You've heard one of the speakers say 46% of our young people unemployed. That was the IMF figures from about 2-3 years ago. It is worse now. 1 in 2 of our young people unemployed. That is simply unacceptable. It's not something that we in the New Democratic Party can accept. If we don't act, we are consigning a generation of our young people to poverty and hopelessness.
The NDP leader said once elected to office, he will ensure that young people are either earning or learning.
People, we believe in you. For those of you who are leaving our shores for opportunities elsewhere, and those of you who are thinking of doing so, we want to create conditions here to give you an option to stay with us to create that brighter future here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We know that in our small country, our most important resources is our people, particularly these beautiful young people. We have to give them the best opportunity.
Noting that training the youth to take advantage of the opportunities available will be a major priority for an NDP administration. Dr. Friday said even if one does not have a university degree, he or she should be able to make a good living in the country.
You have heard a lot said about the YES program. A lot of misinformation that we have heard about what the NDP will do and what the NDP says about the YES program. Let me say here, we will reinvigorate the YES program to train young people with job-ready skills, not just in the public sector, but also in the private sector. This will mean increasing the basic payment, first of all, from $450 to $600. Further, we will expand the program by working with private businesses, looking to expand by offering incentives for them to take on new workers, paying the YES payment when matched by the contribution from the private businesses. Importantly, we will focus on training these workers in the areas where there are shortages of skills, because we want them to meet those skills here to grow our economy.
The NDP's candidate for North Central Windward, Chieftain Neptune, made his introductory speech at the party's virtual meeting last evening. Neptune, a former sailor and member of the local police force, will be coming up against Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves in the upcoming general elections. Neptune said his commitment to serve is of paramount importance.
Many may think that coming up against a sitting Prime Minister will present its own challenges. But I have never been driven by fear. You know this is a David and Goliath battle. He's hard to dead, ring the bell. Nothing is impossible. You can say no to fear. You can say no to intimidation. You can say no to false dependency. You can break free from these shackles that this present administration have on our people.
Noting that he is passionate about developing the North Central Windward constituency, Neptune said notwithstanding a person's political affiliation, he wants to be a representative for everyone in the constituency.
I'm here to give back the voice to the voiceless. I am here to empower my people of North Central Windward. I want to tell you tonight, there is a better way. That better way is with the New Democratic Party. The better way is with me as your voice in an NDP government. It is time for a change. That change is now, and the change is with the New Democratic Party.
Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding a fatal accident that occurred last evening in Lodge Village, which resulted in the death of a 44-year-old Dylan Victory, a businessman of Union Island. Police say the investigation so far revealed that the deceased was driving a Toyota Run-X P2055 in the community of Lodge Village when it went over an embankment and ended up in the river below. The businessman was pronounced dead on the scene by the district medical officer. A post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted to ascertain the cause of death. Victory's death is the third road fatality for this year. Police have arrested and charged Keon Kwame, a 33-year-old unemployed man of Enhams and Kingstown, with the offense of damage to property. Police say the accused man allegedly, without lawful excuse, damaged an automated teller machine, the property of Republic Bank, valued at $158,623.94. The incident took place at Halifax Street, Kingstown, between 9 p.m. and 9:15 p.m. on Tuesday, September 22nd. Kwame will appear in the Serious Offences Court to answer to the charge. Meanwhile, Shimor Doroshe, a 19-year-old laborer of Largo Heights, has been arrested and charged with unlawfully discharging and possession of a firearm and ammunition. Doroshe allegedly unlawfully discharged a firearm at an 18-year-old unemployed youth of the same address. He was further charged with having in his possession a firearm and 1 round of .22 ammunition without a license issued under the Firearms Act. The incident occurred at Largo Heights last Friday, September 11th. The accused will appear before the Serious Offences Court to answer to the charge.